for the end of this Gonzaga game. Just finished up. So because of that, we want to turn our attention, of course, to Karthik Venkatraman, because now for the second time in history, we know that they are officially going back to the Final Four.
The Final Four is a good feeling. How about that, huh? 83-65, the final score in that game. Man, I'm just watching the players on the court right there. They're celebrating so much because, you know, in such a stressed season of playing in a pandemic and all the mental fortitude that it took to get to this point, and for them to finally get here for just the second time in program history is something incredible. And for the second time in just the past 5 seasons, as of now, they're just one of 3 teams to have ever completed that, with Villanova, North Carolina being the other 2, and then, you know, Michigan might make it there later tonight. But how about Drew Timme today? 23 points for him. You know, a lot of people doubted him coming into this game because he was going up against Evan Mobley, who is this amazing center for USC, probably going to be a top 5 NBA draft pick, 7-footer, defensive player of the year in the Pac-12. It all didn't matter. Drew Timme just had every single shot that he wanted, driving to the basket. You know, he was pulling up for jumpers at the free throw line. He was just backing his way into the basket. I mean, from the get-go, threw down a couple dunks. It was the Drew Timme show, and he looked very sharp in this one. It was just really cool to see him get that done, guys.
It's so cool. I'm curious, were there any kind of moments that it really seemed like the game turned? I mean, I know that they came out pretty hot right at the very beginning, but I'm just curious what your expertise and what your eye really saw.
Yeah, this game was done after they got up 7-0 in the first half. It just felt that way because, you know, USC's just turning the ball over left and right. Gonzaga's got the ball. They're rushing down the court. They're getting easy bucket after easy bucket after easy bucket. And then, as I said, Drew Timme just went off over and over in that one. And it was just incredible to watch. I mean, I was sitting here before the game started, and I was like, okay, I want to see, you know, there's been a lot of talk coming into this game. USC's defense is so good. They can really give problems to the Zags. If I'm being frank, I was one of those people. I thought this might be a closer game than what the score ended up indicating. But, you know, Gonzaga just came out from the jump and really put a statement down in this one. Another player that played really well in this one, too, was Jalen Suggs. He put on a show. The Drew Timme show was something, but Jalen Suggs was just 2 assists shy of a triple-double in this one at 18 points, I think 10 rebounds, 8 assists in total. I mean, a lot of people coming into this game thought that this could be one of his moments where he could really shine. He's also probably going to be a top 5 NBA draft pick as well, so some high talent in this game, and you can't say enough about what Jalen Suggs did to this team. With his court vision, with his rebounding, starting transition, and also scoring around the rim. Jalen Suggs was spectacular today, y'all.
So Karthik, they will now advance to the Final Four, and they'll take on the winner of the next game that's going to go on tonight, and that's Michigan-UCLA, correct?
Yeah, Michigan-UCLA is going to tip around 6:57 our time. Michigan, of course, the 1 seed. UCLA making their own Cinderella run and causing a lot of noise in this tournament as an 11 seed. It would be interesting. Obviously, Gonzaga, UCLA have had some clashes in the past. Infamously, everyone knows where Adam Morrison's crying on the court at the end of that one game where Gonzaga just let it up. But more recently, you know, Gonzaga was able to beat UCLA in a tournament game where Shemet Karnowski was throwing behind-the-back passes to everybody. Those were slick. So some good and bad moments against UCLA. But Michigan has been one of those top teams in the country all season long. You know, people have been talking so highly of them. Their center, Hunter Dickinson, they're out without one of their star players through this tournament, and Isaiah Livers. But they've been looking sharp. They haven't really missed a beat, and led by great coach and Juwan Howard.
Okay, Karthik, I don't want to look past this game, but I follow you on Twitter, and I was watching the Baylor game along with you, I guess, on Twitter, and I remember having the same thought, and then I looked at your tweet, and it was like, when I watched Baylor play, I felt like I was almost watching Gonzaga play, the way they pass that ball, and they're just so explosive on offense. And then I saw you tweet that you said you thought that should be the game in the final. Are you still thinking that?
I really want to see that championship game. I don't think, you know, out of the 4 teams that are left, you know, I think everyone wants to see that. That was a game that was on Gonzaga's schedule earlier this season, but obviously Gonzaga had those coronavirus issues with the team. Then that game ended up getting canceled. But, you know, that's the game I think everyone wants to see. Baylor's such a great team. They have so many good players listed as All-American players on their squad, just as much as GU had this season. I mean, those guys are loaded. They play defense. They shoot the 3-ball well. You mentioned the passing. They have ball movement, unlike many other teams. It was just really sharp.
It's going to be exciting. 2 more games now, 2 more wins. That's all that stands in front of them. Karthik, thank you very much. We'll come back to you just a little bit later. In the meantime, we want to